Merrick. Hello, my peeps. Oh, it has been a day today. Excuse me. Just why is this not showing? Excuse me. I have been rushing around and I need a drink of tea. Let's clarify. It's a drink of tea. Anything else, I'd be out cold under my desk. I'm hoping I'm a little early, but that I'm actually live. But my YouTube thing is not opening up. So I don't know. Oh, there we go. It looks like we are. Yeah. Who wants some rascal stories? Oh, probably shouldn't say his name. Trying to get him settled. Okay. So once again, I'm just trying to get on early to so that the chat will show up in time. And I got the chat, and I got my video. I'm actually going to be early, which is crazy. Excuse me. I wish I knew how to quickly mute so that you didn't have to hear me cough. Any guesses what we're working with today? Okay. Wow. So here, let's do the weather first while we wait till it's actually 7 o'clock and wait for a few more people. I had my last minute threw up the reminder because because it was just one of those days. But yes, it's funny because it's been so cold here, and I am totally a winter person, so I will complain about the heat. I will comment on the fact that it's cold because if I had to pick minus 39 or plus 39, plus or minus 39 every day. I mean, I don't want it to be every day, but every day you asked me that question, I would say minus 39, like every time. Not a fan of the heat. Cold, you can bundle up or stay inside or whatever. Heat is just bleh. So, but anyways, yeah. So out today to take the dog to the vet, and it was I think minus 16 when we first went out. I think it did get up to minus 14 at one point. And I was like, oh, I don't need my gloves. It's so warm out today. It's crazy just how much the difference it felt in the temperature. Now, I mean, you know, born and raised in Alberta, made of hardy stock. And, you know, I don't even own a really good thick winter jacket. So, but anyways, yeah, it's funny how minus 16 felt balmy today. So, all right, it is 7 o'clock. I'll stop talking about the weather. I'll start talking about the dog instead. So this is Tracey, Stewart, independent Stampin Demonstrator, and your local neighborhood paper pusher. Yeah, took the dog to the vet this morning. He needed to be sedated to be groomed because all that time in the collar and the cone and everything had made the really bad mats around his neck and face and chin, and he doesn't like to be groomed at the best of times. But we've solved, I don't know if I've mentioned this live again, but for all those who are following along on the adventures of Rascal, and me, the pecker checker, thank you for Jeanette. I still laugh every time I think of that. We have resolved the issue with the crystals in the urine. His new food seems to have not formed any new ones. His old ones have passed. That issue is solved. Now we got to solve the issue of the results of being in a cone or a collar for so long and still trying to lick and clean things up. So he is like shaved to the wood, as it were, today. He's so soft. Oh my goodness, his undercoat is so soft. So he is, he is, but he had to be sedated because, that was because of the length of the clipper, also because of the fact that he wouldn't sit still ever for grooming, and this just makes it dangerous. So a vet tech actually does it, not a groomer, and cleaned him all up and got him all done. He's got ear infection from the cone, like pushing and not having enough airflow around his ears, and that was on and off for like weeks. It sort of hit its zenith today, so he's got all sorts of meds. He's all doped up. He's, you know, groggy. It was so funny watching him try to jump on the couch, and he got his front legs up and then couldn't figure out what to do with his back legs. And so I spent most of the afternoon in the chair, cuddled up with the dog, just keeping him calm until my son got home, and we're sort of tag teaming it. But you know how well, I don't know if you have children, maybe you know, when they're sick, they just want mom. Well, apparently with four-legged, it's the same. So I'm trying to keep him calm in the other room with my son while I do this and hope he doesn't come back in here and just plop himself down on my cold wooden floor in my office. So there we are. We're all caught up. It's been an adventure. He's got a few more days of chilling out. He's got some anti-itch stuff. So hopefully within a day or two, he's settled, and thank God it warmed up a little bit, because peeing in this weather is cold enough without fur. So yeah, Tuesdays with Tracey. Let's see if I can get my focus back at some point. I was rushing to eat supper. I was rushing to do everything today. So let me see. I put all this stuff in order. I have all sorts of things in here that don't belong in here. Sorry. I started to put this stuff in order, and then I added extra things to it when I grabbed them to work in the chair this afternoon. So let's see, what have we got going on? I'm going to do a newsletter tomorrow, and that's probably going to be the better way to go. I'll just give you the highlights. Paper Pumpkin, there's two ways you can do it, right? You can have your monthly subscription, or you can prepay. Prepay during celebration. I'm going to put these graphics in. Earns you free stuff, right? If you get a year long, I mean, you get up to 5 free items. It's awesome. So that's definitely the way to go. I have the new dies somewhere on my desk. So why do I have 2 of that piece of paper? Just to throw me off. Join offer, that's the best time to join, and you get all sorts of free stuff. We know that one. Spring extravaganza, and okay. I'm going to do the dies on Friday, but what I will tell you, as soon as I figure out where I put the stack of them, oh, there we go. Oh, actually, you know what? I'm going to do it really quickly. Because I watched the little demonstrator thing that they give us about Paper Pumpkin the other day. Oh, hello, Jen. Thanks for commenting. I like it when I know it actually works. So I was watching the thing the other day, and she said she can tell by the numbers that people are loving these dies and buying them because they're really going through stock. So if you're at all thinking that you want to get these dies that will go with these 3 months kits, you probably don't want to wait. So I got mine, and here's the thing that surprised me. The first thing I thought was, oh, they are much bigger than I thought. And not, I don't know why I thought they'd be any different. Like in the picture, you just can't tell. But the other ones that came before that had like the little frog, and they were just tiny. So maybe that's why I just thought they would be. But it comes with this big label, a leaf, like a leaf bough, the love. So I'm pretty sure the love is going to go with, oh, I can see it in the picture now that I do that. You could add this love to the January kit with the perennial one. The February one they've talked about a little bit, and they've said it's Easter and tulips. So I'm pretty sure this tulip die, they will all go with anything, but I think that's how they work. And then this one goes here, and then of course the label goes with everything. So yeah, they're much bigger than I thought. And I thought, okay, so I don't actually have my kit. My January kit shipped today, and I cannot wait because the perennial lavender, oh my goodness, it is so pretty. The colors and just the imagery and the label, oh, it's an awesome suite. So I'm very much looking forward to that. But in the meantime, I thought, well, why wait when we can play? It's not like I don't have anything else on my desk. So I started making some cards with them. So here was my first one that I made, again with the envelope. So I made a very simple one. This one, I'm thinking of you, came out of one of the new sets. Now I can't remember which one. I just love the way it looked, though. And this tiny little daffodil, this is the label. I just cut it out of DSP instead of out of white. And look how simple that little note card is. Oh, I love that little daffodil. And then I stepped it up a little bit and made a full-size card. I'm absolutely, there's 2 embossing folders I'm in love with. This is number 1. Got to get it going in the right direction. There we go. From the 3-pack. Again, with the label, this hello came out of another set. Geez, by the time I'll post these pictures and I'll figure out where all the greetings came from, because now, oh, this is the new celebration set. I cleaned my office yesterday, and I actually put the stamps on a shelf behind me. So now nothing is where like right in front of me, and so now I can't remember anything. But yeah, so the same thing. I just cut the daffodil, and what I did is I cut one in green, and then I cut just the flower part in yellow, and I just stuck it over top so that I could have the 2 colors. I'm going to try cutting it out of watercolor paper and then just watercoloring the image, because I think that will make a very pretty daffodil image. But anyways, yeah, I just made a label, added a couple little bling from one. Actually, that's a celebration thing too. And I just love this card. And then the last one, I jazzed it up a little bit. I used the Love um, die cut. I used the folder. I used the leaves from the set. And then I'm in love with it. I will pick twine over ribbon all the time, but I love this black and white checked one. And these two hearts just happen to be left over on my desk from the bees. I'm still obsessed with the bees. I think I've made 4 more bee cards, which I will post later in the week, but I just didn't have time yet. But anyways, yeah, a little bit of wood grain embossing, a little bit of black. Red, black, and white to me is just like classic. That's for me for Valentine's. Those are the colors. So anyways, I think those dies are a great idea. I haven't even used them with the kit, and look how much fun I was having. So if there's anybody else who wants those or wants to know how to get them, let me know. My first class, seriously, with the bees though, I can't stop. Gotta find my pile again. So you're gonna make 4 cards, but you're gonna have lots to choose from because I have a whole bunch of different ones. Oh, thank you, Jen. Yeah, I just thought, I'm going to play with them because, like I said, they were so much bigger, and I thought, oh, these are going to be way easier to work with. They're going to fill a card all on their own. And I had more ideas. I thought of like the label with 3 little daffodils in it. Oh yeah, it's going to be fun to play with. Actually, so far, everything I touch, I keep being obsessed with, and I want to just like make more and more and more. I had enough cards for the B class, but could I stop? Nope. So I made another one. This one was just like, that one was my idea. This one I had seen in the catalog, and it was one of the reasons I liked the set. And I thought, why do I always see them in the catalog and then never make the ones I see in the catalog? So I changed it up a little bit. I don't think I did the exact same colors, and I added more bling because I love these little embellishments. But yeah, I was in a casing mood the one day. I was playing on the weekend, and every time I went through my phone and all the B cards that I had saved, thinking, "Ooh, I like that." I made them. This one was Stampin with Amore, I think is her name. Now, she had the die that made like the clouds, and so she had done a little bit of background stamping. I personally couldn't figure out how there'd be clouds and flowers in the same place. So, and I didn't have the cloud die anyway, so I just left off the background. So it's a little more simple, but I do like it. And then, one of the ladies, Cindy Schuster, who works at Stampin' Up, but is also a demonstrator. She's a group. There's her and 2 other ladies that have a Facebook page where they just pick a set and they make them. Look at this card. Is it not gorgeous? I what did I do? What are these things? The brushes. What can't I remember the name of the brushes all of a sudden? The brushes. Instead of hers were die cuts, but I like the softer look. And I changed out the sentiment and the background paper mostly because I didn't have the one she used. Oh, hello, Mary. But is this not the most awesome card? So yeah, Cindy Schuster. Oh, I just love it. I love crumb cake. And when I saw this card, and then it's using like the daisies, and oh man, I love that card. Anyways, lots of fun making the bees. I'm only gonna have 6 spots at this class, just because of the room. There's some issues with buildings and cold and things. So the RSVP is next, like this Sunday, or I can stretch it to Monday or Tuesday, but I need to know by then if you're coming. So this is our Sunday crafternoon on the 4th of February, and I will post the stuff for that. And then I just want to clarify one thing for the spring extravaganza, and then I'm going to get into the cows because, oh my God, did I have fun with the cows. Okay, so our spring extravaganza, we couldn't have our original date, so the date that worked was the 18th of May, which is the Saturday of the May long weekend, and I know that's not going to work for everybody, but with the changes to Stampin' Up when they hold the events, Easter, spring break, the release of the catalogs, like there's so many things that we're making the spring one different. So in the end, plus Tamara and I's trying to have lives. So we ended up with the 18th, which I think is going to work for a lot of people. Yes, unfortunately, there's a couple that won't, but it's going to work for a lot. So the in-person one, we have it figured out. We're focusing on the in colors because the in colors, I get so excited about the in colors. I can't wait to see what the new ones are, because the ones that are carrying over for another year are lighter. My guess, and it is only a guess, are that the new ones that replace the outgoing ones are going to be like these vibrant colors, which I love. So we're going to put together, like, your packages and everything will be that. The cards will be made with that. We're going to have 3 each of 3 cards, and then depending what else they add, because when they do the in colors, sometimes there's treat holders or bags, sometimes there's specialty paper, sometimes there's extra twine or extra ribbon or extra embellishments. We have no idea yet. We'll know mid to end March. So anyways, that's what we're working with. And so for the in-person event, we are going to pick 3 stamp sets or bundles from the new annual catalog, which comes out at the beginning of May, but we'll be able to order from like pre-order at the beginning of April. And what we're going to do is we're just going to get 3 each of 3 different sets. And so in the in-person one, we're going to pass those sets, like there's 9 tables, right? So we're just going to pass those sets around to make the cards. They're going to be new. They're going to be awesome. As soon as we know what they are before the pre-order, we'll tell you which ones. As soon as we see the pre-order, it takes us a matter of, an hour in the afternoon we talk, we get all excited, we figure it out, away we go. So we'll be able to tell you that. For the people that are getting the to-go kit, you're getting all the same stuff, and you're going to get a PDF of how we made them and which sets we used, and we'll tell you ahead of time which sets. But you won't have access to the stamp sets. So you'll either have to add those to your pre-order or just use a similar set. And if I can, I will try to say, if you don't have this set, these are the ones that will work. They have the same kind of imagery or whatever. So just for those who, if you're going to order the to-go kit, you will get all the same stuff. You'll have all the, like, it will prep the cards with die cuts and DSP. You'll have all of that stuff. But any stamp sentiments, or if there's any stamps like background stamping or anything like that, you'll have to come up with your own stamp sets. It's just, that's the only way we could make it work. We do think it's going to be fun. And we like to try new things, and we like to try to figure out ways to make them work. Because if we can't do something like this, then basically there wasn't going to be a spring extravaganza, because it didn't work with any of the other ways. So hopefully that works. I'll have more details in my newsletter, which should happen tomorrow. I will likely have to do the entire thing sitting in the chair in the living room with the dog asleep in my lap. So we'll see how that goes. Tea break. Okay. The cows. There they are. They are called cutest cows. They are the cutest cows. There was like a very well-named set. And then it comes with a builder punch. So for our catalog launch, this is the Tamara made this one. This was our make and take for that bundle. And I love the idea of getting this card, and instead of just, hey, how's it going? Or congratulations, or oh, I heard your good news. Holy cow, holy cow, holy cow. But to me, that just paints a picture in my head. Love this card. These everyday details dies. Oh, they're going to be so popular. Actually, you might see them on a whole bunch of my cards. I'm in love with them. Anyways, love this make and take. So that's what we had from our little set. Now, we didn't have a ton of time, either one of us. So we didn't end up with a whole bunch of samples. So I thought, I need to make 1 or 2 more samples using the cows so that I have more to show. Or I could make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Because that's what I ended up doing this weekend. One of them I just finished today because I had to wait till I got another set. But oh my goodness, was I having fun. So I'm going to tell you some stuff, though, to help make your life easier. So I wanted to be able to do this, and I knew I was going to make a bunch of cows, and I was going to punch out these 2 stamps. So I wanted to line up, and this works for any kind of builder punch. It would work for the bee punch. It would work for the submarine punch. I can only think of new examples. I can't think of current ones. But if you want to make it so instead of having to stamp the body and then stamp the head and stamp the tail and all these other things, and each time, like, cutting the paper and trying not to cut your other piece off, the easiest thing to do is just mount the pieces that you want on a block, stamp them at the same time, and punch them at the same time. So that's what I wanted to do. So I was going to get, and just so you know, this, which way is he looking? So this body piece and either one of these 2 heads. So you either have, smiley cow or winky cow. Either one of these 2 heads fit in the punch. The rest of these bodies you have to fussy cut. And these adorable little roosters. I got to tell you, all these little bits and pieces in here, I love. So I was just going with like regular old cow head and his body. So these are the other ones are still on a block because I just used them. That's this one. Which direction did I say? This one, right? So let's make sure I got the right. Yep. Okay. Okay. So what we want to do is we want to mount them on one block, not like this. And what we want to do is make it so that when you stamp and you put it through the punch, it's perfectly lined up. Nothing's getting cut off. I'm gonna find my little piece of paper that I forgot. There we go. So I put my other piece of paper away. Well, we'll just use that one. So here's what you want to do. You want to make a little template of the punch. So that's what I did. I took out my piece, and when I go to make a template, I always do it with a cardstock that I have lots of, usually a dark color. or something that's about to retire. So this is the Tahitian Tide. When we did our display for the catalog launch, we cut out all the dies so you could see what the dies cut out with, and we decided they would all be the same color. So I had chunks of Tahitian Tide all over my desk. So I'm hoping you'll be able to see this. So here's what I did. I grabbed my little chunk and then I punched it. I don't know if it's obvious to me, but I don't know if it's obvious to you. So I had just taken it out of the package, punched it for the first time, and I don't know if it's kind of there, but you can see there's oil all along the edge of this punch out, right? So it kind of made the paper a little bit greasy. Now that's because of just the like the machining process of making these punches, a little bit of oil on it. So anytime you get a new punch, sometimes I will stamp something, color it, spend all the time, and go to punch it and then go, because I forgot it was new. It doesn't matter, even the ones that are just like a shape for a label. Every time you get a new punch, go punch a piece of paper. It's easier to see on the dark paper, like I said, and punch it and see if you get an oil slick. So if you do, you can take scrap paper, like photocopy paper. There's my piece of paper. You can scrap like photocopy paper, something like that. You can use a baby wipe. In this case, I'm out of baby wipes right now, and when I went to buy more at Costco, they were out of the ones that I know don't leave lint, so I didn't get any more. You can take a piece of paper towel and get it wet, and just kind of jimmy it in like this, and then just kind of punch a bunch of times. And in this case, I'm not even punching all the way through. I'm just punching a bunch, move it over, punch a bunch until you get like you think it's clean enough, and then go to your scrap paper. I did a few times. What are we doing here? Oh, Rascal has like this whole little medicine thing that he's got to do now because he's got stuff for itching and stuff to keep him calm for the next 3 days because of this stuff, and then stuff for the ear infection, and it was so much I had to like make a schedule. So this was like draft one of the schedule. So any old scrap piece of paper, and then do the same thing. Just kind of go through and punch a bunch of times. Just move it around. I'm making a huge mess on my desk. And then you can kind of look on here. Mine's clean now because I've done it a few times, and do it until you see that the oil is gone, right? And then grab your other piece of paper and make your, I really shouldn't have done that. I did make quite the mess. And then make it, because that way you're not going to get oil stains on your projects that you don't want. Okay, so that's what I did. And you can see, I don't know if you can see it, like all the pieces that stamped out, they've kind of dried a bit now, but all of these pieces, they had the same thing. Like the cardstock had it, and all the edge of all these little pieces that punched out all had the oil on them. So we didn't want that. So then I took my next piece of cardstock, punched it out, perfectly dry, good to go. So I lay this on my desk. And all you have to do is take your two pieces, and in this case, so this is the tail, the spot on the side, and horns if you want to make them a bull. Now, if you're punching these all out of different colors of cardstock, then you can punch all these different things. You don't need stamps, but these, like the tail and the horns are in there, but the horns are they're just like two little pieces, so they're probably just as easy to fussy cut around. But with these other pieces, there's no stamp that goes with them, so I'm not worrying about these three little pieces. I just want these two pieces. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take my little guy, and I'm hoping not to stick my head in the way, and I'm going to try to center him. And this is one of the other reasons I have white cardstock below me and the blue on top, because I can see where the edges are better, because I want to try to center him evenly in there. And then I'm going to take this guy, and I'm going to put him in, and I'm almost every single time knock the first one, trying to put the second one in. So I try to avoid doing that because it just frustrates you. And so the same thing with this one. I'm just trying to see the edges where he lines up and trying to make it nice and even. And then just put your block down and pick both pieces up. Now, seriously, I keep moving stuff. Like, to my own detriment, I keep moving stuff. So then we do a little test. Just whatever color happens to be on the desk, but in this case, it happens to work for the color and do it. So I can stamp this down, and you can just see how cute this guy is. So I'm just stamping this. This is just on my paper I used to keep my stamp off. So do that, and then line them up. Oh, that's why I had a little piece of paper in there. The other thing that I do every time, did it again this time, is don't stamp too far up from the edge of the paper, because if you do, you won't be able to get your paper low enough in your punch to actually see if it's going to work. But better that you screw it up on this than on your cardstock. But that's okay, because like I said, you just got to trim it. So then once you get it in, we're just going to do this. So I have to look here first. Oh my goodness. You know how when you do things on TV and nothing goes as it's supposed to? That is not the case tonight. So there we go. So now I can see that that is actually remarkably well lined up, shockingly. So now I can see that this is going to work for both, right? So my stamps are good where they are. Oops. I'm going to punch an actual one out, because here's the thing. You can never have too many cows. These things are adorable. And again, I learned my lesson, so I'm going to punch closer to the bottom of the cardstock so that it works better. I'm going to put this away now, because we're not actually going to finish that particular cow. So now, when I punch them out, and my extra little pieces over there, I still have, you can't see it on my desk, but like surrounded by all the stuff I was playing with this weekend. And there we go. My piece is punched out with, look at how nice it looks. So that's remarkable that it worked that well first try. Usually I'll do it. I'll stamp. Something will be a little off, so I adjust a little bit more, test it on my paper. As you can see, I tried it a couple times the first time to get it right. But there you go. So now you can stamp, punch, without having to do it as two separate pieces. Because even if you have strips, every time you try, you're cutting parts off here, so you got to make sure they're far enough apart. And I find this uses less paper. So that would be my number one tip for you, would be to do that. I have no idea. I have more as I go. I'm just going to show you as I go. So 10 cards later, let's see what we've got. I'm also on a note card kick right now. I love note cards. You can still mail them. They're quick to make. They're fun to make. I'm going to move this over here just so you trust me that this is actually in the cow set, even though there's not a single cow on it. I love these little sunflowers. And I did think about it afterwards. I think you could take, I have to get it to check, but I think if you masked off these tiny little circles that are in there in the middle, like I think if you stamped your stamp and then just use your blender brush or something and like just clean off those little circles so they're not there. I think the little faces from the bee might fit inside of these sunflowers, so you could have like winking sunflowers and stuff. Thank you, Mary. Yeah, there's time-saving things that you can do that definitely save you time and paper. So one of these times when I have a bit more time, I'm going to try to see if I can put little like bee faces, because a little winking sunflower, I think it's adorable. Anyways, this is just a simple congratulations card, a little bit of twine, a little bit of stamping and coloring. Because I like to color with my blends, love my blends. I just put this on a little piece of white cardstock instead of going directly on, so that when you look in the inside, the colors don't show through. But you could stamp directly on, because I think when you open this and you're reading whatever nice thing is written, if you see a little bit of this, and the note cards are a little bit thicker anyways, it's not like it's the end of the world. But it also makes it easier for me to tie my twine. And you will notice I put twine on just about everything. It's like the Frank Red Hot for me. I put that stuff on everything. Okay, so that was one note card. I was trying to go with super simple without a bow. So this is Happy Birthday. And I think I mentioned in the first video we did, after I did this, I thought, I think the chicken should be looking at the words, but it was too late. So these are the same thing, stamped direct, colored. This Happy Birthday is from the beach set. Just a minute, because everything is actually on the shelf now. Beach Day. It's called Beach Day. And I absolutely love this Happy Birthday. I love that set. And that was like most of the reason I bought it. But this Happy Birthday put it over the top. I love that. And it's going to get so much use. So that was this little rooster. Oh my goodness, you guys. He's adorable. Okay, so we had that one. And then I did make a note card with an actual cow on it. And this is the bee's body part of the bee punch, which is somewhere else. And I wanted a bit of color. So I did the holy cow, congratulations. And this little dude is barely colored. I was playing with cow colors. When we were kids, I don't know if this is the same for anybody else here. How about another story? And we would be driving down the road. We'd all be looking for cows. And for whatever reason, when we were kids, my dad told us that the black cows were Protestant and the brown cows were Catholic. And one day, one of us was driving. We were driving down the road, and one said, "Oh my God, those are all white cows. What are those?" And we came up with the idea that they were Jewish. So we had Catholic, Protestant, and Jewish cows. and we would like count the cows when we would drive somewhere. I have no idea where it all started, but maybe it was just kept us amused. So every time I color a cow, that's what's going through my head. Oh, I really should have looked this up. Okay, I will find it for when I post these cards. Tamara actually posted a picture, and I had seen it at about the same time. I saw the original post on the Demonstrator planning place, plus Tamara had posted it, plus I think I saw two other people who had shared this card. I think her name is Deb something. Deb with a P. Deb P. I can't remember. I'll look it up. So I don't actually remember. This is mostly her card. I added a sentiment and I added the flowers and a bit more grass. But other than that, this is basically her card. Is this not the cutest card? It's like I could, and it's got like wood grain on this and wood grain on. Oh my goodness, I had so much fun making this card. It's a hefty card. Like there's lots of layers on it. Is it not cute? Oh, I will find her name so I can put it on there. Yeah, it's adorable. Was I going to tell you any little tips from that one? No, here's the tip I will tell you though. Don't forget about the stuff in the annual catalog. I forgot we had these little daisies. They're in the annual catalog. They're yellow and they're white, and they are perfect. You will see them on a bunch of cards. They are perfect for like the outdoorsy and the cow thing. Oh my goodness. I didn't realize it had retired. I thought it was still current, but the mixed medley, I think it's called, the one that goes with the X punches. I make up my own names. I have no idea what the punches are called. Probably not X punches. But it has a sentiment in there that said "Hello, friend." See, and here's the white little white flowers. But I like the idea of like two cows meeting, like, "Hey, friend," and playing. Yeah, I see. My head runs in cartoon. I can't help it. So that was what I was envisioning, and it turned out much better than I thought. These were meant to be black cows, but I didn't want them to make them totally black because then you wouldn't be able to see anything. So these are Pebble Path. That's what I used for black. And then I just used the darker one to make the spot. So it's darkish. This paper is one of the sheets in the celebration paper that's something about sunshines. I really should do a better job learning the names of things. Something about sunshine. I can't remember now. And so I wanted that as a background. This was just free cut. And all I did, because at first it just looked too stark, is I just randomly stamped the grass from the cow set in various little places, and it changed this green so much. These little clouds came from the air balloon set. I've mixed and matched a bit because I had all of these things in front of me. I don't just a minute here. I just realized something is blocking part of my screen, so I don't know if that's doing it. This paper also came from that same thing. That set, whatever it is, it has flowers, it has suns, it has clouds, it has rainbows, it has like the big flowers, little flowers, some patterns. It's a great set, and they're all these nice vibrant colors. There's that everyday detail die again. Again, don't forget the good little butterflies from the annual catalog. And then one of the best sets you could ever get is Best Family Ever, that has all the names of your family members, mom, grandma, etc. And then it has a whole bunch of little sentiments at the bottom. And I need birthday cards, so that's why I wasn't. There's really cute puns in this set, but I needed birthday cards, so I was making birthday cards. So, so then I decided that the little sleeping cow, this one here that looks like he's sleeping, or she's sleeping. No, he's got horns. He's sleeping. I thought, I bet you that would make a cute baby card. So this was my first baby card, and this was meant to be a patch of grass. Again, the dies. You gotta have the dies. And this was my very I can't think of the right art term. I tried to figure out how I could add this little yellow to make a sun without just putting a circle. I tried to make like a sun out of a pom-pom. It failed miserably. I tried loops. It failed miserably. So it ended up just being a double bow, but that's meant to mean the sun. But look at the little cutie sleeping there. And yeah, this is the welcome little one came from this set, Cradled of Love, which is a free celebration set. Spend $60, get a free baby set. And it's very cute. So this is where the little one came from. Oh, thank you, Ida. So you see this set, right? So this is the card I'm making. Here's the other thing. This is the second embossing folder that I am completely in love with, is this one. And it's a celebration one as well. It comes with a stamp set, something sophisticated, and you get the stamp set and the embossing folder with a $120 purchase. These are free. Love, love, love this one. The one thing I noticed though is I was in my mind, I was piecing this together, and so I embossed the background piece. I had these other pieces, but I didn't have this set in my hand yet, and I needed to make the label. So I had all the pieces just like laying in a pile, and this thing embosses like such. It's such a full pattern that leaving it on the desk, it kind of started to curl up. So I did put extra adhesive behind it because it gets I mean, it embosses. Um, but yeah, I probably should have just glued it down right away before it had the chance to curl up. But yeah, just so you know, this is a very thoroughly embossed. There we go, piece of paper. But I love this. So this is kind of like a little boy card, um, or just blue, could be neutral really. These little hearts are from the bee embellishments too. But of course, Tracey's brain wanders. Oh, does my brain wander? So when I saw this, I was like, huh, I wonder. And the answer, oh, I didn't finish the envelope on this one. The answer is yes. You can put the cow in the cradle if you want to. Why would you? I don't know, because I'm a whack job, but I just thought it was cute. I think this looks like a little cow. And I realize now that it has horns, which makes it a boy, and I made the whole thing pink like it was a little girl. So maybe I'm overthinking the how detailed it needed to be, but I probably could trim those off. Yeah, I probably could quite easily. Anyways, I did make the little mobile, and I just put like little star embellishments on it. They're stuck down there. The Calypso, not Calypso, Flamingo, this again with the everyday details. Seriously, I can't get enough of them. This Calypso twine came with the hot air balloon set, which is called Lift Me Up or no, Lighter Than Air. It's called Lighter Than Air. That's where that one is. So should you decide, hey, I've got an hour that I can't get back. Yep. It was cute though. I think it was totally worth it. I did have a hard time. I will tell you. So I cut, I'll show you in a minute what I did, but I cut these pieces out so you could kind of see the cow. But then I was trying to color. Thank you. I know, right? I love cute things. So I was trying to color just the slats on the crib, and I figured the front ones would be slightly offset from the back ones. But then what I should have done is I should have started in the middle, so I could have done every second one. But I started on the end, and I thought I had it straight, but I was starting to see so many lines, and I couldn't tell what was what. So in the end, I just colored the entire crib gray, and I just put some darker accents on it. But yeah, it was a little bit trickier. But here's what I did. And this was going to be sample number 2 because I couldn't decide what color I was going to make anything because I had made the cow brown. What color did I make that cow? Pecan pie. Pecan pie is one of my favorite colors. And so at first I was going to make like a brown crib, so it kind of looked more like wood. But once I decided I was going the girl route, I wanted like smoky slate and stuff, ended up with a smoky slate crib. So, but here's what I did. Your best friend will be the take your pick tool. The new in this annual catalog, they came out with the add-on, the 3 crafter add-ons, which are a pointier pick. Like the original one is a little bit thicker than this, so this one is one of the new ones. The other end has a little hook on it. I'll try to get the right background so you can see a little hook on it, which is quite handy for picking things up or pulling little chunks of paper out. And oh, and the rotary cutter. It has the rotary cutter. And then it has this very handy scalpel or crafter's knife, I guess they call it. So all I did to make this card is I had my cutout cow. Oh, you know what? There we go. I do have another cow cut out. I just have to fix this because even though I know in my brain that these are pieces of paper, I need this to not be a headless cow. I need the cow to have its head. So it helps you to line up. In this case, it's not essential for the lineup, but it does help. But it's just more the whole headless cow thing. So I overlaid those slightly. I like to keep, I pop the heads up. I did it on every one of them. And yes, I have colored before after I put dimensionals on things, so I probably will color it later. But I like to do this. I put just the 2 dimensionals there, and they kind of go right below his nose, so you don't really see them through it. But it just gives it makes him look 3D just by putting that little bit of separation between the 2. So what I did was I took the cow and I figured out, okay, if I'm going to stick her in here, this is not the right cow. The one that's laying down is a lot shallower, like the legs. So we'll just pretend this is going to work. But mostly I just needed to know how wide I needed the hole to fit. Now, I was never going to fit the cow in this way because of the tail. I was going to fit the cow in like this and kind of turn it. So I had a smaller little, but I did still need to figure out like what kind of a slot. So what I did, and I would imagine you could stick any kind of animal or any one of the actual baby stamps we have in the cradle if you wanted to. So what I figured out was I needed to go from about here to here. So I put down this cardboard came, I think this is the one that came with the butterflies. It's just one of the thick pieces of cardboard backing that was in something. They come in the paper pumpkin kits. And so all I did was the first thing I did was I drug this little line out. And then you can see I made a little slit here. And I did not make it big enough. It took me a couple tries. But this knife is the cat's meow. And it helped immensely in getting this done. So I knew I was going to go like this. And because what I wanted to do is I wanted to see, isn't he adorable? Look at her. She's so cute. So this is what I wanted. So I knew that if the cow was there now, it doesn't look right because you can see, like, you can see the front of the crib all the way through the back of the crib, the way the stamp is. So the cow should be showing up there. So that's why I figured out which ones I had to cut out. So, sorry, figure out where my pencil went. So what I figured out, and it didn't have to be exact, but it had to be something. So this is the actual slat that we want to keep. So I just went like this, and I drew on the ones in between. So I marked them so I knew which ones I wanted out. So this one's going to be okay, and this one's going to be okay because when I put the cow in, it'll fit. And then I decided I wanted her tail sticking out. So I just made a little slit at the end. I can't do that with this one, but you just kind of got to turn. You could go the entire way across, but I think just putting it in at an angle helps just as much. I'm not going to do this whole thing because it was very painstaking and time consuming to do it, but and I found that you want to push really well, so you only have to go through once. But all I did is, so I'm just dragging along just inside the stamping line. The ones at the top, I'm more pushing in and going in little bits because I don't want to cut too far, but I want to make sure because it's easier to drag this knife on the long, like on a long haul. Oh, thank you, Jen. Oh my God, I seriously, when I had the idea and I thought, can I make this work? I was so happy with the result. So now what I've done is I've cut this out. Here, I'll cut out a couple of them just so you can see the end. So the cow that I'm using as my sample, which was not my original cow, is white. The colored one I think shows through better, but I guess we're about to find out. So that's all I did. I was cutting these things out, and I cut all the ones that I made lines on. I left the little bottom part just like technically I probably should have like taken more chunks out of there, but I just wanted you to be able to see that the cow looked more normal in there. Like it didn't need to be exact because then these loops were going to start to get harder. And okay, so we stick the cow back in. Oh, maybe it's handy that it is a white cow. There we go. So you can see now, you can see the cow through the slat. So now it makes more sense because otherwise it looked like the cow was somehow hovering behind the grip. So that's what I did, and I filled all of these ones in. So yeah, if this is colored, I guess it could be white. And then it was just kind of a matter of playing. So yes, her tail is right here somewhere, and I wanted it to stick out. So, and I'm not going to do it on this one because this one I'm going to use for something else. But all I did was actually cut the tail off of this little guy. And then this one here that's right on the end, I just went down and probably a 1/4 inch, which is bigger than I needed, but I started out smaller and I was having just a hell of a time. And all I did was, once the cow was in, I'll show you on this one, it might be easier. There's my little slit in the thing. I took this little guy and I just stuck it in, and there's a glue dot on the other side holding it in. So now she's in the little crib, but her little tail's sticking up. Right? So yes, I don't even know anybody having a baby right now, but I can't wait until somebody tells me they're having a baby so I can give them this card. It was so much fun. And seriously, you should just look at a stamp set and go, I wonder, and then try it because it was lots of fun. Okay, well, maybe we'll finish that another time. Okay, I have a couple more. I don't know if I have any more tips. I think that might be it for the tips for the night, but I did make a couple more cards. Again, my brain works in mysterious ways. So once I said the rooster was facing the wrong direction, I'm like, I got to make another card where the rooster's facing the right direction. So this paper, again, is from that same package from Celebration. It has so many good backgrounds of different stuff. You'll notice, yep, same dies again. These little stars, and I use the same stars. The mobile in the stamp set, keep stacking things, has a star, a moon, and a whale. But the whale, like this was too hard to fussy cut and try to make it work anyway. But the whale was hanging down too low. I had less space up here for the little mobile to go. So in the end, I cut the holder, and you can't see it, but behind here is the little circle part. And then I just used the string to come down to look like the mobile pieces, and I stuck these 3 stars on in a nice little bow. So those stars, the yellow ones and the white ones, this is very well loved. Where's the other one I just used? I had to get a new package. We use this for one of our make and takes, so it was fairly picked over. There we go. This is from the Rock and Roll Suite. Mix and match, man. That's the way to go. So there's, yeah, you can't see it behind here, but there's rows of white, yellow, and this is Coastal Cabana. This is either Crush Curry or Daffodil Delight. That's my little tip for you. Write the colors on the outside of the case so you remember. So yeah, white, Crush Curry, and Coastal Cabana. So I was using these stars for all sorts of things. So this is where the white stars came from. And I just wanted a white embellishment. There's no, I don't even think the stars matter. Again, there's my little favorite ribbon in there. But this little guy, I love this little guy. I think he's just got like just the best attitude. And again, I needed birthday cards. So. And then my final cow card number 10. Again, I had mentioned I like crumb cake. So this one I made, and this is from the set. Like, what's Moo with you? These are going to make the cutest cards just to send for no reason. And I did this is something gingham, which is the DSP that's in the annual catalog. And yes, it's the same one that was left over. Oh, look at that. It happens to be right on top of the pile. This little strip was left over from the B card that I made. And so it just happened to be on the desk. It's amazing how much stuff I make just based on what's on my desk. Like this card, I'll sit down to do something else, and this cow is going to end up in something because it's on my desk. I have the cutout piece of the baby card. It's going to end up somewhere. This was my trial and error part that didn't work. I had an extra one of those. Like, just wait. You'll see all these parts and pieces in a card. So that's the only reason I chose that one there. This background, like flower embossing folder, is the Painted Posies. I want to say it's called Painted Posies. And it comes from the annual catalog as well. And I think it just works to give it I just wanted something. It was plain with too plain, but I didn't want a pattern on this one. I wanted like something natural. So yeah, I cut these out, and I didn't bother trying to fussy cut in between. This one was hard enough to cut apart. This one, I thought there's no way I'll end up cutting something off. But so anyways, yes, lots of fun with that. I always stamp my envelopes and my insides, and I had so much fun. Sometimes I'll have to look. We'll go back through them and I'll see if I can do it. But so like the little peeking head, some of them, this guy's got a whole guy. Those ones I know are full body ones. Lots of times I will just have the butt end of things. So it looks like they're like walking off the card. And it's the butt end of things. This one I just put some grass on the inside. I thought that was a good idea. Of course, I say that, and I do it all oh, there we go. I do it all the time, but now I can't find one. So sometimes, yeah, instead of stamping the whole thing, especially if it's a big image and you don't want to take up the whole card, then yeah, I just have little butts. I have the tail of the rooster on one of these. Or this guy, it's just his head, but not his tail. So anyways, yeah. I highly recommend the cow set. It was lots of fun. If you buy this bundle, where is my catalog? There we go. Sorry, I'm gonna see if I can find the answer fast enough, because I just had the idea and I never actually looked it up ahead of time because that'd be too easy. Punch bundles are a little bit less. Okay, there you go. So the punch bundle. So to get the stamp set and the punch is $56.50. Grab yourself a package of embellishments, whichever ones you choose. That puts you over 60. Boom, you get the Cradled in Love for free, and you can make cows in a cradle, which I know cats in a cradle is the song, but that doesn't mean it can't be cows in a cradle. So there you go. Thank you very much, Mary. I did have lots of, I do like cute cards, and I did have a lot of fun making these cards. So there you go. I made a huge mess of my desk. Okay, I'm gonna end a little bit early, which is good because the dog's only got so much patience. So I'm going to go back and nurse my four-legged baby, and I will likely probably not post pictures of these until later tonight or tomorrow morning. But I will post the pictures, and I will find out the answers to like where the stamp sets came from and the lady's name who made this genius card, because I just can't remember it right now. So thank you, ladies, for coming and joining in on the conversation and sharing a little cute cows with me. I very much appreciate it. Enjoy the warm weather. I love how warm it feels right now compared to what it was. And I will be back, should be back, barring any more adventures with the dog. I should be back at 12:30 on Friday, and I will have used another sweat set. I'm already halfway through the plans of using another set, and I'm just having so much fun. And I've decided I'm just going to pick a set, and I'm going to make as many cards as I feel like until I'm done, and then I'm going to move on to the next set. So who knows what the next binge will be. Remember my first card that's coming, or first class that's coming up of the year, Sunday Craft Afternoon. We're making the B bundle. We're making a couple boxes and 4 cards. It's going to be a lot of fun. So register for that, so I know by next week how many people are coming. And you guys have a enjoy the rest of your week until I talk to you again on Friday. Thanks, everybody.